they have this sort of focus group, and it doesn't turn out well. What goes viral is all the little focus group comments, but this is the segment that the focus group is from, and let's analyze it. It's pretty bad for Biden in Michigan, and a Democrat cannot win the presidency without Michigan, and it's looking very bad for him. Now, let's clarify a couple of things. There's two things going on, two campaigns: abandon Biden, and then there's the uncommitted. It's, in my opinion, the uncommitted campaign is the campaign that's trying to pretend to be something like the abandoned Biden, but they're just a campaign that wants everybody who's against genocide to vote for Joe Biden. That's what the uncommitted campaign is. I'll show you the headline in a second, but let's analyze this video right here.
There are aspects we have to talk about with Yasmin, who's joining us from Michigan, Dearborn specifically, talking to voters ahead of Tuesday's primary. That is a state, as you well know, Yasmin, where protesters have been very loud against Joe Biden's support for Israel. And as the New York Times has put it, Michigan's combination of an early primary, a large and politically active Arab American population, progressive students on college campuses, and the option of a protest vote have raised the stakes of what has otherwise been a sleepy election in the state. Sleepy. So what are the voters telling you, Yaz?
There's a new poll out, Alex, 45-41, in which the former president is leading Joe Biden right now in Michigan. Biden has a problem, Alex, in Michigan with the voters that I've been speaking to. These are all folks that voted for Biden in 2020. They have committed to voting uncommitted in the Michigan primary next Tuesday. And two of them are very much on the fence in voting for him for re-election in November. The other two absolutely will not be voting for him. They're angry about Gaza. They're angry he has not called for a permanent ceasefire as of yet. And they're angry that he has not come through on the promises he made when he was running for president back in 2020. Let's take a
And what's interesting, she's about to bring on the focus group. What's interesting is that because she says, now there's 4 people, I think she said, two are on the fence and 2 are absolutely not. What was crazy to me is that the one was absolutely not was like an older person. You would think, because you're gonna see a couple of young, both the old people and both young people. It's not really down age. And if you in Michigan are losing the 55, 60 plus vote in the Arab community, you're done. That's a done deal, sir. That's a done deal, because you can write off young Arabs. You can write them off as just part of the young generation, not even part of the Arab discontentment. You can't write that off for a 55 plus Arab. You can't write that off as just a younger progressive. You get what I'm saying? And that's, to me, speaks volumes. But let's listen to the focus group, and you guys let me know any part you want to stop the video.
Take a listen, Alex, to some of what they said and how they think or they believe Biden could possibly make up their vote between now and November. Is there a pathway forward for you with Biden?
Oh, absolutely not. You cannot keep killing people with our money and just keep thinking that, we are stupid enough to elect you again, because we'll fall in line. We'll forget. How can, this is an insult to me as a voter.
For you.
You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's the person I was talking about. That lady, she looks like in her early 50s, maybe mid 50s. Hopefully, I'm projecting right. She looks good for age, by the way. I'm not saying she insult or anything. Yeah, she looks like about that. Yeah, she looks around that age. But I'm saying, if you're losing that voter, because that's not the average, that's not the progressive. You know what I mean? She doesn't have defund the police on her lawn. You get what I'm saying? She's probably that voter in that age group who had made the decision, hey, the Democrats, they financially support Israel just like every other president, but at least they project that they, want human rights for Palestinians. So I made the calculation that I'll at least go with the lesser two evil. But when you lose that constituency, to me, this is I don't see how he's going to get that voter back. And I'm going to rewind and let it play. Go ahead, Kate. You're going to chime in, sir.
Well, yeah. Here's the thing. He's losing the voters, and I said that this would happen. People are going to wake up. People are going to start waking up and being self-aware of just how little they're respected by both parties. And Democratic voters are seeing this firsthand, especially Arab voters, Muslim voters, Black voters, who for a long time have, I think in many ways, been browbeaten and bullied into voting Democrat because the white liberals would say, see, we care about you people more. We care about your social issues more. We care about how you feel. And the thing is, they don't. They just want to maintain their power. A lot of these white latte drinking liberals who are part of this neoliberal establishment in the Democratic Party want to keep people subservient. And what we're seeing is individuals push back as they should, and I'm loving every minute of it because the Democratic Party's hypocrisy is out here in full display. And what better avatar for the Democratic Party than Joe Biden, who's been on the wrong side of history, who's been always incorrect about every single social issue, who is one of the many architects of this neoliberal nightmare that we are in. So for these voters to say, I'm not voting for Biden is a correct choice. It is a rational choice because this man and his party have never once stuck their necks out for the people. They only want the people to be subservient to them.
Can I say one quick thing before you change?
Yes,
the frame?
absolutely. Absolutely.
What in God's name is going on with the thumbnail on his right hand? Is that his hand?
Ew. Yeah. Ew.
What is happening there?
Oh.
Because I'm a big horror movie fan. I've seen Nosferatu, and that is some vampire shit going on right there.
Jeez.
You know, I don't know.
Or maybe it's like body horror from dusk till dawn. Like inside him is like that vampire rat creature that'll come bursting out. I
just noticed it. I'm like, dude, groom yourself. What the hell? Anyway.
Maybe he wants it that way. Maybe he wants it that way.
Or no, wait.
That's his coattail.
Silver Surfer. Yeah. No, it's the booger sugar. It's the booger sugar nail. You gotta be careful what you say on YouTube. It's the booger sugar nail.
That's right.
All right, let's get back to the video. But let's go.
Make up their vote between now and November. Is there a pathway forward for you with Biden?
Oh, absolutely not. You cannot keep killing people with our money and just keep thinking that, oh, we are stupid enough to elect you again because we'll fall in line. We'll forget. This is an insult to me as a voter.
For you, Biden has a pathway forward.
Biden has a pathway forward. It's not.
And what does that look like?
That is him calling for a permanent and immediate ceasefire. The straightforward, simple answer for the Biden administration is push for a ceasefire, stop aiding Israel in their war crimes, and I guarantee you there are enough people who would be willing to deal with it and vote for the man. It is, in so many words, insane to me to have the Democratic Party and the Biden administration sit here and essentially say, if Trump happens, it's your fault.
If you don't want a Trump presidency, then are you not worried about what he could do domestically to this country?
I am, it's like a vaccine. I'm willing to take short-term pain for a long-term gain. I'm willing to let go of Joe Biden and oppose Joe Biden, make him a one-term president, punish Joe Biden by making him a one-term president and pairing his loss with the genocide in Gaza.
Why is having a Trump presidency more important than those people's lives?
This is the part that I was shocked that they put on TV. How
the hell they let that happen?
When she said that, I was like, what? They didn't edit that out of there? I was absolutely floored. I'm going to rewind it again for those that didn't catch it. This is a point that we all have been making. That's why it was so shocking. Listen to this.
It's refreshing. I love it.
Punish Joe Biden by making him a one-term president and pairing his loss with the genocide in Gaza.
Why is having a Trump presidency more important than those people's lives?
Yeah.
Why is our democracy more important than thousands of men, women, and children being killed.
Oh.
That is a devastating.
So
point.
it's interesting, Alex, because it's not like they're
Wait,
saying we're not
wait,
going to vote for Joe Biden.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Just kind of look at her face, the reporter or pundit. Her face is like, he's like, I can't believe I sat through it. None of those people are vote blue, no matter who. I'm still recovering. They don't care about Trump. They're all scared. It's funny to see just the reaction from her face at ease of that. I'm wondering what else did they leave on the cutting room floor? Because if that was the most, if those are the highlights, what else was left now? I would have liked
other stuff.
Yes, exactly. And maybe that was the most tame out of everything that they said.
That is funny. That is true. All right, let's listen to some more.
And instead we're going to be voting for Donald Trump. That is not at all what they're saying, right? Instead of saying we are in this position in more of a big picture sense because of the Democratic Party, right? They're like, you haven't given us the candidates that we want. You haven't delivered the way in which we want. You're not listening to us. And we are sick of the political system in this country because of all of that. So this for them is kind of a warning shot, saying it's time to change. It's time for something to change in this country.
Yes, the third gentleman with whom you spoke talked about the short-term pain for the long-term gain and said that he'd be willing to vote out Joe Biden. He does fully realize what that means, right? If we've got Joe Biden and Donald Trump, he's willing to elect Donald Trump.
Wow, that's projecting
he fully
right there.
realizes, and I challenge.
Holy cow. So in other words, she's saying, like, does that guy know that he's voting for Trump? No, he didn't say anything like that, lady.
Yeah.
You are projecting an emotional response due to somebody who is tired of the Democratic Party's BS. Okay? If Joe Biden loses Michigan, it's on Joe Biden and the Democratic Party, not on any one voter or voters. It's because the Democrats failed to deliver with policies and solutions to make people's lives better. And shame on BSDNC for actually having the audacity for somebody on their team to be that emotionally charged. Does he realize that he knows what he's doing? Yeah, just like how I know what I'm going to be doing on election night. I'm voting third party and independent, and I encourage my audience, if they're going to vote, to do whatever they feel like. And if that's going to be projected as, do you know what you're doing? You're telling people to vote for Trump? Go ahead, project more. Let us live rent-free in your head, corporate media.
I love it. You're amazing.
Beautiful. All right, let's listen some more. A lot of this is very shocking that it's on TV, but this choice they try to say, well, Trump Muslim ban, is that really Muslim ban? There's 30,000 dead people, but you want to say Muslim ban. It's astonishing that they believe that that's a good talking point.
I also want to add in something here too. You know, she's saying, like, does he realize what he knows what he's doing? Yeah, I'm gonna twist this famous quote from Samuel L. Jackson. Yes, I know what I'm doing, and I hope you burn in hell.
Challenged him on that. I talked to him about that. He fully realizes what that means. But these voters are saying it's not on us. This is not our responsibility. It is not our fault. This is the fault of the two-party system in this country. It's the fault of the Democratic Party for not producing the candidates that we want and for not coming through and following through on the issues that we feel like they need to be following through on. So if we have to go through, as Khalid said, the person that you were talking about, this kind of short-term pain of another Trump presidency, that's what needs to happen as they see it to break the system, because they have slept through so many election cycles in which they see as choosing the lesser of two evils, and they're exhausted. And that is what I'm hearing most from voters here in Michigan.
Now, I must say, I always forget how to pronounce her name, but she is Muslim and or Arab, the lady you see on the screen. And she's gotten a lot of criticism because on her show, she really doesn't go hard in the way that you would think. Ayman, too, the guy named Ayman, he has some of the same critiques. That's why you see these two Arabs still on TV and you see Mehdi Hassan gone from the same network. But when she's on other people's shows and doing reporting, I do notice those segments are a lot more harder, like this one right here. So maybe she's making the play, I want to save my job. So on my show, I'm not doing that. But if I'm actually here as a reporter, I have more leeway. I can go and have the people I'm reporting on say the thing that I would really like to have said. And maybe that's why this segment is the way it is, because she selected what's in there. The reporters would select the clips that's in the reporting. So she picked this, and knowing full well. So I'm just saying, maybe this is her, Malcolm X adjacent moment, her protest moment, is to produce a segment like this. I could be giving her a lot more credit than she deserves, but that's the way I've been looking at it.
I think
let's go ahead. Go ahead.
I just say I think she did a nice description right there of what Khalid was saying, and I think and the other folks, and this is what I'm talking about when I say there are cracks in the system. And good point that you made. Like, we don't know what ended up on the cutting room floor, but the fact that this made it through, there are cracks in the system. And I think I want to hear somebody articulate this. That whole short-term pain for long-term gain. The long-term gain is this. By denying Joe Biden a vote. And by the way, at this point, it's 4 months in. No matter what he does tomorrow, he's still responsible for those 13,000 kids having their limbs blown off and bodies buried in rubble. Some of them are still buried. And they died alone and cold with their dead parent next to them. There is no coming back and forgiving. I would love Joe Biden to push for a permanent and immediate ceasefire and an end in military aid to Israel tomorrow. He still doesn't get my vote, but maybe he doesn't end up in hell. So
no, that's too late. No, he's going there. He's going there.
I know.
There's no negotiation with that. Come on. Come on.
But the thing is this. We must punish genocide. We must punish it no matter who does it. Because if we don't, we have given them a green light to do this again, and believe me, they will. So this is a very historic moment for us to draw this line. And that's why I like that we are able to be so non-nuanced in this. There is no nuance when it comes to the genocide, especially of a powerless people who've been oppressed for so long. None. No vote for Biden. No vote for genocide. The United States should not and never will again be involved in this type of slaughter. We say no. And the only way we can do it is at the ballot box in November by voting no on Joe Biden. And that includes voting for a third party, independent, or leaving the top line blank. And additionally, getting in the streets and keeping our voices loud and disrupting business as usual. Those two things, those are our tools, and we're using them.
Absolutely. Back to the video.
So last question to you. You just said, wow. And you said so as Ray Gasman was reporting there, listening to that tape. What does this portend to you? How concerning is this? Michigan's in a very important state. It potentially could run neck and neck there. You have Rashida Tlaib, the Michigan congresswoman, who's saying what Yasmin is talking about with these voters, saying, hey, don't vote for Biden specifically. Send this message. But sending that message now.
Sure.
What are the dangers of that?
Well, so first of all, the Biden campaign and the administration certainly acknowledges the political significance of this situation. That's why they sent Deputy National Security Advisor John Feiner to do extended meetings in Michigan with these communities.
Oh, yeah.
We shouldn't forget about the fact that this is February.
Yeah.
And so if this
There's
was
time,
there's time for the campaign and the administration to address this. And what I would virtually guarantee is every Biden supporter or former Biden supporter who is a part of this coalition is sending this message in such an ardent way right now because they are hoping to reach some form of consensus. And you're going to see that start to play out. So there's a lot that is going to change, but certainly what can happen, and this is just raw politics. This isn't a commentary on the conflict itself. The Biden campaign will not ignore this issue and their voices, and you will certainly see them making very, very concerted efforts to mend some of these divisions and bring their coalition back together.
Can we go back quickly to you, Yasmin, if you're still there, and just get you to react to what the Congressman just said?
Yeah.
Yep.
Congressman, I don't mean.
So the congressman is the representative for the Biden administration. He's not technically a surrogate, but he obviously is a corporate Democrat. He's not a progressive. He's a corporate Democrat who's here to shield for Biden and get people to vote despite Genocide Joe's record. That's what he's here to do. And you heard him say, it's only September. I mean, we still 9
February.
months or whatever the amount.
We're in February.
We got 9 months.
No, you don't have time.
See in the video? Didn't we just see in the focus group her specifically address that and say that that's insulting? That's the reason why I think that the host here goes back to say, what's your reaction to what this, pseudo Biden surrogate has to say about that? Because it's important. They're not learning because he's having the same reaction that they're having, and people are trying. Like, I feel like the host and the reporter are trying to convince you, hey, this is not regular shit here. They're not just going to forget this.
Yeah. Well, by the way,
to understand
that they don't have time. Like, time is out just because it is February. Once we got into 2024, once December 31st of 2023 ended and we walked into January 1st of 2024, time's up. Now you got everything on the table. Everything is set. If the Democrats wanted to change something, they should have done it in 2023 when they still had time. They have no freaking time. They are out of time. Now it's the game is set. The game is being played. This goes for Republicans, independents, and Democrats. If they wanted to make a change, they should have done it a year ago. It is too late for any kind of reset or any other kind of big gameplay, which is why probably the biggest thing that's going to happen is a DNC convention here in Chicago where they're going to play a last-ditch effort to probably replace Biden. And I see that happening because the evidence is abundantly clear. People are not enthusiastic for Biden or anyone within his administration. They want something else, and that's going to be their last Hail Mary. That's if the Democrats are mind you, again, I'm trying to project. I'm assuming that there's some smart people in the Democratic Party, which they're not.
Well, there are some smart enough to want to win, and that's important to them because it enables their continued grift. But do you agree, Kit, that no matter who they put up, it's not going to work?
It's not going to work because then it's sort of like changing a character mid-season. Like, who's this person? This wasn't the protagonist. Like there's a big shift in the story. Voters are going to get confused. And the average American voter right now, because like none of them are as in tuned as we are, because we eat and breathe and consume politics where we're talking about it all the time. But a lot of voters be like, well, then who do I vote for? Who's this guy? Wait, it's not Biden anymore. There's going to be a big wave of confusion. And they're going to try and project it as this big thing. Again, that's if the Democrats are smart and they do want to win, they got to have another horse than Biden because Biden isn't their guy. So,
the people who are most concerned about this genocide are going to be very astute in listening to whoever, if they replace Biden with, what they say about Israel. Now, I think what they're hoping is, so Biden's been pushing for this quote unquote humanitarian ceasefire. It's not a permanent and immediate ceasefire. In fact, what he's pushing is another temporary pause in the slaughter and the genocide to get aid in. And I think they're rolling the dice and hoping Netanyahu will forego a full-out attack.
He
on
won't
Rafah.
do that.
I know.
Netanyahu's going all in. Are you kidding me? I covered an article on RT on how he's saying he wants the war to go all the way up until 2025. This man is dead set for the full destruction of the Palestinian people living in Gaza.
He's also dead set. I agree. He's also, Netanyahu is dead set on extending this war as long as he can, because he knows once it's over, his political life is done.
Yes.
He's got a 98% or 95% disapproval rating in Israel. They blame him for the security failure, as well they should.
Yeah.
Because he knew about this and did nothing. He had all his troops, not all, the majority of the IDF, their energies were focused on protecting illegal settlements in the West Bank, not protecting their border with Gaza. The Israelis are not stupid, and you can find this in Haaretz and the Jerusalem Post. People are not having it, and there's enough folks there very unhappy with the fact that he clearly does not care about the lives of those hostages. So he's done. His only hope is to extend and this is the dangerous part, expand this war. My God, Hezbollah and Iran have shown such restraint, and there's going to be a boiling point if Israel continues to do what they're doing, where that restraint will break, and then you got a full-blown regional war. And I think, the Dems are just hoping, gosh, if we can get through this, make it look like Biden had something to do with hostilities lessening, we'll be okay. Listen, you know what? People who lost 30, 40 family members in Palestine, and these are the voters in Michigan, they've talked about it in other focus groups. They've lost family members. Guess what? Those people aren't coming back from the dead, and they're not going to forgive Biden or whoever replaces him for the deaths of their cousins, their sisters. It's just, I don't think that not just the Democrats, but the media are giving enough space to the pain of Americans here who have lost their family members and what it is like for them.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, as time progresses forward, a lot of voters are going to see just how weak the Democrats are in regards to making big decisions, especially as we creep closer and closer to the convention here in Chicago. And there was an article that was shared with me. I know it's a little bit off topic because we need to focus on the rest of the show, but on how there is intense security around the United Center for when the DNC convention comes here, and just how upset voters are here in the city. Plus, there's a lot of people, Chicagoans, who are upset with the Democratic machine and the local government here, and in regards to the continuous failures and policies by Democratic leadership. This is a powder keg that's ready to blow up. And the Democrats are fully responsible for this because they're the ones responsible for lying and misleading the people with their intentions.
Yeah. And let's play some more of the video. It's not that much left, maybe 90 seconds. Let's listen.
I don't mean to put you on the spot here, but it's interesting because some of the points that you just made up, they actually came up at the table, right? This idea of timing, and the president has said this, there's time, right, to make up the difference between now and November. And they have sent an entourage of people. They've sent folks from the White House to respond to some of these concerns in Michigan. The president came himself when it came to UAW. He has not yet come to address the issue right now at hand with the Arab American, the Muslim American community and young voters here in Michigan. One, that is something that they want. The other thing is they're saying the time is now. It's not now or November. The time is now because what they're asking for, specifically in the Arab American community, the Muslim American community, and these young voters, is they're wanting real action when it comes to Gaza. So this time making up, right, and sending these entourage of folks that are part of the White House, it's not necessarily, in my view, from what I'm hearing from these folks, making much of a difference.
Right.
Wow. So yes, I know we're supposed to go, but just really quickly, let's say things get much better. Are they not going to be able to forget what has happened in Gaza when it comes to voting in November and thus vote their conscience that way?
So the two guys in the end, Annie and Mikhail, both young voters, they said there is a possibility to make up that vote, right? If the president were to call for an immediate ceasefire, for instance, and really put time and thought, energy and money into creating a two-state solution in that area and helping rebuild. That's how they feel now. The two in the middle said there's no redemption. They're not doing it.
Okay. The two in the middle were the two older people. Now, some people in the audience said that maybe we overaged the lady. Maybe she was in her 40s, maybe. But even if she was in her 40s, the guy was definitely in his late 50s or 60s. And both of them, meaning anyone over 40 is the point that I'm making. Both of them were over 40. The two over 40 were held no in stone. The two young people were the ones that were flexible, but really are they flexible? Because what they're asking for is non-starter. They're saying a permanent ceasefire, and one of them said you have to stop facilitating money. Those are non-starters. So really, to me, those are four people, two who give a threshold that the Biden administration is not willing to go to. So that's effectively, to me, the same thing. But what are your final words, Anthony and Kit, on this story? What's happening in Michigan? This is dire for the Democrats in Michigan. So go ahead, Kit, and then we'll follow up with Anthony.
Yeah, so the dam is about to break because I think we're going to see more people start speaking out against why they're not, about why they won't vote for Biden, and it's going to come from all sorts of Democrats, all sorts of generations about the failure of the Biden administration, and it's going to be pure gold for people like us because I think we were witnessing the beginning, it's happening now, but the beginning stage of a true political awakening in this country that has long since been suppressed and been told to behave. People are going to start speaking out, and this is where it's up to independent media to be the leaders for the next real big step. So this is the Great Awakening, not happening yet, but it's the beginning stages of it, and we must continue to encourage people and invite those that have been frightened for so long that it's okay to be awakened, it's okay to call out these politicians, and that it's okay to voice your criticism and to use your power to make your own impact.
Go ahead, Anthony, if you had any final words on this last story.
Everything Kit just said, and I, with the same passion, because I do think the cracks are there. There's no patching them up, and whether it's our support for genocide, illegal occupation and apartheid, which pre-existed the genocide, whether it's our support for racist immigration policy, our abandonment of working people by refusing to push for universal Medicare for all. In the middle of a deadly pandemic, the Democrats didn't do that. They didn't raise the wage. They did nothing about inflation once it happened. We didn't get relief checks. So when you look at it, the masks are off and folks are not having it. And I do agree that enough key groups that are normally considered the base of the Democrats are not going to vote for Biden and or whoever is his replacement. And Jim Clyburn is freaking out, and he doesn't get it either, because there's a lot of young black voters that are saying no. In fact, there was a survey within the past couple of months which said 1 in 5 black voters of all ages have said they will vote third party. Biden has dropped double digits, more than 20 points, with black voters in approval rating just in the past year alone. You cannot win as a Democrat without those votes either, and it's happening in so many different areas. And I think it's a good thing. People are voicing how they feel. It's a good thing, and here we are. Let's see where it goes.